Do you believe we need regulation here, or do we need better system design? Because I see, like the European, I tried to do something. Canada's got this conversation of data sovereignty. Every country's got its own flavor of this. Plus, protect the protection of the consumer as well. What do you think regulations, or are we probably too far in? Like, I mean, we've let the devil way in, probably.
I I live in a world of regulation. Like one thing I'm doing with the crab pots is I'm trying to create a profit motive for the crabbers to pull their pots up when they lose them. And because I think profit motive is a stronger connection to change than regulation. At the same time, I think we have to manage. I talked about the data center issue in Virginia and all over. It's a regulatory thing. It's a policy based thing. And I think as humans, society requires some policy process. And frankly, most of us have had the best success with our lives and our economies when some level of that's managed. Unmanaged is not really a fair shake for the middle class. If we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, I think regulation is on the table. The problem with regulation is, the last time I presented to a state Congress about digital signatures, this was a while ago, and it was shocking and scary to the level that they could understand what I was even talking about, and it was kindergarten, and so that's why people get so tired of this. Is when you go to legislation on any of this stuff, you're dealing with esoteric intellectual topics that frankly the audience can't handle. And so we run into challenge, and we run into the opposite end. We have people legislating things that, fight, some of the better decisions, right? So it's happening on both sides. And so I don't think we can run away from it. I would love to see a healthy market-based improvements as one of the key drivers. And I think intent's important. I think that's I'd flip it and say, I'd like to see corporate leaders consider intent and consider their profit strategies to say, it's my message is it's easy to make money. You don't have to pour molten lead into a crucible anymore and then haul it on a train somewhere to make a profit anymore. It's easy to make money. Make it in a way that's also good for humanity. And by the way, humanity will be really interested in buying your product if you do that. So I think this idea of good companies is an interesting topic. I hope more companies pick up.
This is what I was going to go with in my next segment of this conversation is how do we translate philosophy into business outcomes when it comes to empathetic AI and leadership decision-making process. Have you seen this impact, and what's your reaction to that?
I personally think executives are interested in this, and they're not. As a small company, our biggest challenge is just getting them so they can hear the message. And when they hear the message and then they see the results, they're blown away. So my opinion is there's a really strong appetite for this because they're also slowly losing grasp of the speed of technology. And I like to go back in 2013. We were helping a bank, a big tech bank, and they were doing 150,000, if not 3 million trades a second, or 300 million. I can't remember the number. Crazy number of trades a second, and they needed their copper to be, or their optical to be so short from the certain paths to keep all the speeds. My message is, if you're doing 130,000 trades a second, you can create the depression in a minute or less, right? Like humans can't regulate that. Humans can't govern that. We need technologies to manage technologies. And so we're moving, and AI is going to be in that space where it's going to continue to escalate in certain ways beyond human conception. We're already there in a lot of tech, so it's not that as scary as everybody thinks, but we are going to need tech to do tech. And that's why I think humans really have to think about human agency right now. What is it that is our place here in the intersection with digital tech, so that I like to joke, are we going to be the pet or the livestock, right? I hope I'm the pet, I don't want to become either. I hope humans can stay on the ride on this, and the Jetsons versus Terminator, right? Like people have these worried concerns about where tech will take us, and it is going to get interesting. It's going to be transformative, but humans need to start to understand humans better as part of that process.